What's up guys, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. My name is David Falla. I'm here at my new office. It's a work in progress. I have some of my bobbleheads, pops. I love them, I collect them. So I have some of them here, but I gotta show you guys some of my collection. But anyways, so I have a new office. I gotta show you guys the new place. Once it's done, you guys are gonna love it. This is gonna be like a creative spot for me to just create content, right? And can continue with classes. We're gonna be doing classes in person here. We're gonna be doing online classes here as well. So I'm super excited. I have so much to share with you guys. So for today's video, I want to do something a little bit different, and I want to talk about something that is very controversial, something that a lot of people from the United States and also from other countries, they want to know about it, and that is barber's license, right? Like, why do we have a barber license in the US? Why some countries don't have a barber license? But most important, I want to show you guys how to get your barber license in the United States and the things that you need. So let's go ahead and start with the video. So this is going to be a little bit of a different type of video that I usually do. So for this one, we're going to jump right on the computer and we're going to go through a little presentation I prepared for all of you, so it help you guys visualize a little bit what we're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and start. So we have a barber's license. What is a barber's license? We're going to start with that. Barber license, in some countries we need to be licensed in order to legally work as barbers or hairstylists. The United States is one of those countries in which we must have a license. What does a license mean? That means that you are a certified professional to be able to do what you need to do as a professional, right? So pretty much we are trained on how to disease control, sanitation, disinfection. We also obviously train on how to do our job, and social skills, and many other things, right? Why is it important? I think it's important because it allows us to get some training that we need before we actually start cutting hair. In some countries you don't have that training. When I'm talking about that training, not actually cutting hair, is more like learning how to clean your tools, how to sanitize, learn disease control, learn things that are important, things that, you know, could be more important than how to do a haircut, how to do a fade, how to cut with scissors. Even though obviously those are the techniques we need to learn. Learning how to disinfect your clippers so you don't spread diseases is extremely important as well. And in some countries they don't teach that. It's actually up to the barber to learn that. So obviously you guys can see how that could be a problem, right? So that's the reason why we need a license in the United States. So everything is a little bit more formal. Everything is regulated obviously by state. Every state is going to be a little bit different. And you know, I agree to some degree why we need a license. And I'm going to give you guys a little bit of my opinion why licenses are extremely important, obviously, and why licenses might not be as important the way they are being done right now. Okay, so that's what is a barber license, right? Why is it important that you have your barber license? If you are in a country like the United States, that you need a license. If you're in a country that requires a license to be a barber or hairstylist, then it's important for you to follow the rules and laws, right? Wanting to work illegally without a license can cause actually problems, and can be very costly problems and lawsuits against you and where you work. If you work at home without necessary legal documentation, someone could sue you and take everything from you. Has that happened before? Yes. Does it happen regularly? Probably not. But I have heard stories about things that happen, like if you cut a client, they can sue you. If not necessarily cut a client, like more if you spread a disease to a client, maybe they have like a bad skin reaction where they have to go to a dermatologist to get it treated, then you can get sued for that, right? And if they go to your place where you work and notice that you don't have a license, or then the business owner can be liable for it. So it could be a really big problem that could be avoided, and we know what we're doing. So pretty much it's like driving, right? Like we know we need a license to drive. Do people drive without license? Yes, they do. Should they be driving without license? Of course not. You know, that is very important for us to know. Why do we need a license? Because we need to learn the driver license. We need to learn the laws before we can start driving, right? So obviously it's extremely important. So if you are one of those that drive without license, stop doing it. Stop completely and go get your license. Or if you're a barber, hairstylist, cutting hair without having a license, it's extremely important. It can literally stop you from achieving bigger things that you want, because you're always gonna be afraid that state board is gonna come to your place and give you a fine, or or close the business or whatever. So just keep that in mind, right? Also, if your dream is to work with a company or educate and teach classes, not having a license could take those opportunities away from you. That happened actually to me at the beginning when I started cutting hair. I didn't have one license. There's a lot of companies that wanted to work with me, and unfortunately they couldn't work with me because I didn't have the paperwork. Again, the companies can get in trouble for hiring professionals without licenses. So that is a problem. Those opportunities that I lost, but it was my mistake. It was it was my fault that didn't happen. So what I did is, like any successful person, every time something happens and something doesn't go according to how you wanted it, and it's your fault, what you do is that you take responsibility and you become accountable. So what I did, I got my license, and I got my license from New York and my license from New Jersey. So now I don't have that problem that if a company reach out to me, they want to work with me, I have all my documentation, so I have no problem. And that's something that is very important. We gotta be responsible for our actions, and we gotta be very accountable for our actions. And that means that whatever we did, we resolve it, we take care of it, so it doesn't happen again. So that's why it's important to have a driver's license. We're gonna say again, a barber license, right? Okay, what are the requirements, right? And this is one of the main questions that I get asked all the time. So in the United States, each state has different requirements, right? Each state is a state license, right? Usually it is a certain number of hours to pass a practical written exam, or sometimes both, right? Every state is going to be different. So if you are in whatever state you're in, I would recommend you to go to Google and look up the information that you need for your state. What do you need? And they will most likely on their website tell you exactly what you need. The State Board of Cosmetology will tell you exactly what you need to get your driver's I don't know why I'm thinking about driver's license still. Talking about barber's license here. Okay, so to get your barber's license, right? Okay, in some states you can also have the option of being an apprentice or a master barber, so you can get your license. This is not available in all states, so that is actually amazing. In some states you can go work with a master barber, someone that is licensed for a while. They can teach you and sign up on those hours. That is amazing. I think that's the way to go. I think one of the main problems that I have with barber's license is that sometimes you go to school and you don't learn absolutely anything that you need to learn. Not even the main important things like how to clean your tools, right? Sometimes you don't learn anything. So you go out there, you're trying to get a job, and you can't, because guess what? You don't know what you're doing, so nobody wants to hire you. So now you gotta become in the system for like 2 freaking years, and it's just a waste of time, right? So I love this option in some states where you can just become a barber apprentice, where you'll be able to work, get paid, right, and also learn at the same time. So that is amazing, but unfortunately not all states have it, right? So for example, I'm in New Jersey, and in New Jersey, well, I'm gonna tell you what the requirements are. The requirements for New Jersey are that you gotta be a high school graduate, and also you're gonna be doing 1,200 hours for your cosmetology license and 900 hours for your barber's license, right? And on top of that, you're gonna have to take, after you complete your hours, you're gonna have to take a written test, right? And then after that, you gotta take a practical. So just keep that in mind. That's just in New Jersey. You might be somewhere else in another state where you will require to do more hours, less hours, or you're gonna have to take no test, or sometimes you gotta take more tests. Every place is different. How I said, go to Google and find out that information, so you know exactly what you need before you go to apply, obviously, because you want to know exactly what you're gonna have to be doing, right? Okay, what is the problem with licensing in the United States? So this is something I want to talk about, because as I said before, I do have a little bit of problem, and the biggest problem we have is that since the license is necessary to work legally in the United States, Many schools take advantage of it to only teach how to get a license and actually teach how to do your work and develop the skills that are needed. Unfortunately, the vast majority of graduates from these schools are not knowing how to do a haircut or serve the correct way to do great customer service, right? The important thing is to remember that you go to school to get your license, and when you finish, it is your responsibility to find out how to educate yourself in what you want to do. So unfortunately, I mean, this is like many schools, right? Even when you go to college, even when you go to university, you actually go to school, you learn what you need to learn, then you go out and you actually learn what you need to do. This is kind of a little bit similar. The problem is that some schools, and I'm not saying all schools, I know some schools are great, some barber schools are great, and you learn a lot, and it's definitely worth the money, right? But for example, in New Jersey, getting a barber's license or a cosmetology license can cost you like from $10,000 to like $30,000. So it could be very expensive to get it for, especially if you go to like a good school, but it doesn't mean that you're gonna learn what you need to learn. So for example, I'll give you an example. When I went to school, some of the cosmetologists, right, they were graduating that day, and they were telling me that they had never opened their machines to cut men's hair. And that is crazy because they paid all this money. So I think the barber kit was like $4,000, something like that. And then on top of that, you went to school to become a barber, and you never even cut hair. Like, you did all this stuff that has nothing to do with what you wanted to do, and at the end of the day, you don't know how to do it. So they felt really like insecure, frustrated, because they didn't learn what they wanted to. And they were like telling me, oh man, I might not be a barber, I might just do something else because this is not for me. And they never got the chance to actually try it. So it's kind of sad and frustrating on my part to see that, right? And that's the reason why I started doing classes. I do classes in person. I started doing online classes because I wanted to help. I wanted to provide that information to people so they know what to do, like after graduation, right? They don't want to take 2-3 years going from shop to shop trying to learn how to cut hair when they actually paid like $20,000 to go to school, which is, as it should be. You need to learn a lot of stuff that the state requires, but at the same time, you should be able to learn like how to do your haircuts, how to like do a great service, so you actually can start making money right away, and you can actually invest all that time that you did for school. You can kind of invest in yourself and start making some money, because at the end of the day, that's part of our career, right? To get paid for what we do, right? So this is the reason why I said why I have my virtual academy. For all you guys that don't know, I have an online academy. Right now it's only in Spanish, but we'll be doing it in English very soon. And my academy is kind of built like a school, right? Like where you will take classes like it was a school, but I will teach you what you didn't learn in school, because I said I have done many classes in many schools. I actually went to 2 schools myself, and I can tell you there's a lot of things that were not taught in school, because it's just kind of one of those things that, oh yeah, you will learn that outside school. So that's the reason why, right? So my biggest problem is this: I think it should be more like an apprentice type of license. Maybe you do a couple, I don't know, 500 hours, you will do them at school, where you will learn sanitation, like infection control. You will learn all the things that you need to learn in school, and then the rest of the skills that you need to learn, how to cut hair, how to take care of clients, how to do great customer service, all that stuff you should learn it with a barber that can teach you in a shop, when you actually can start cutting hair and start making some money. So I think that's a change that we should do, and hopefully we can get to that point where the barber's license can become better than it is now, and schools can offer a better service than they're doing right now. I said not all schools, but majority, unfortunately, right? And how you can find more information about all this, just Google it. At the end of the day, you can go to Google and find all this information: how to get your barber's license, how to get your cosmetology license in your state, because remember, each state is going to be a little bit different. Each state is going to have a cosmetology state board, kind of like a website where you're going to be able to find out exactly what you need, and you're going to find the schools that will be able to get you licensed. So that is the way to continue educating. And don't forget that obtaining a barber cosmetology license is a very big sacrifice, but it's the price we have to pay to be able to call ourselves professionals and to be able to work in peace, right? Because I know many barbers, I said, I'm one of those that, you know, like I was afraid Staple will come to the shop and give me a ticket, or maybe I will get fired because of it. And you know, I know a lot of barbers work like that. A lot of barbers have that fear. Also, you know, they lose a lot of opportunities because they cannot work with brands. Because of that, they might not be able to open their own business if they wanted to. There's ways around it, but it's at the end of the day, peace of mind, right? And it's a sacrifice. Like, for example, when I went to school to get my barbers, I already had my barber license from New York, and I came to New Jersey to get my barber license here. I had, you know, a business to run. I have YouTube to do. I have to, like, you know, I could only work like a couple hours every day, because in the morning I was going to school 8 hours. I have a family to feed, you know, a wife to feed. So it was a big sacrifice for me, guys. I was going to school 8 hours and working like another 8 hours after. I was not sleeping for like freaking 10 months. It was rough. The money wasn't there, you know, and I was trying to, on top of that, do YouTube, and on top of that, continue with all my stuff. It wasn't fun at all. It was a big sacrifice, but it needed to be done. Okay, so I said it's a big sacrifice, but we should all do it because it's the right thing to do. At the end of the day, that's really what it's about. And that's it, guys. That is the end of the video. I hope this information was useful. I hope it helps you to kind of see the bigger picture of things. Sometimes a lot of barbers, I've been kind of for a long time, they don't go to school because they don't need it, but reality you do need it, because you are holding yourself back by not doing what you need to do, and that is, in this case, getting all the documentation so you can actually start moving forward and have more options to open up like more paths for you to work. Because sometimes, like, if you don't get your license, you can only do one thing. If you get your license, you can start doing other things, because you have peace of mind that you have everything that you need to move forward. And that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. It was useful, it was helpful. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe and like it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.